Please show me your glory. And the Lord passed before him, and proclaimed, the Lord Elohim, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abounding in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and the children's children, to the third and the fourth generation. There's no doubt about it. Elohim and Moses became close friends. This didn't happen overnight. It was a slow process. It began in his early years, when his mother spoke to him about the wonderful Elohim they served. Their friendship was strengthened during the various encounters they had on Mount Sinai and continued to grow until the day Elohim called Moses to rest. Chapters 33 and 34 of Exodus record a special moment in this intense relationship. Moses requests to see the glory of Elohim. Elohim and Moses meeting with Elohim, getting to know Elohim better. The glory of Elohim, the desire to know the glory of Elohim, the vision of the glory of Elohim, the result of seeing the glory of Elohim. Elohim and Moses meeting with Elohim. And whenever Moses entered the tabernacle, the pillar of cloud came down and stood at the door of the tabernacle, and the Lord spoke with Moses. The relationship between Elohim and Moses gradually intensified. Elohim inspired Moses to write Job and Genesis. Moses met with Elohim in the tabernacle, where he spoke with him face to face. A clarification, the expression face to face did not imply that they saw each other physically, but rather that they had a fluid dialogue, although Moses never saw Elohim's face. The relationship between Elohim and Moses gradually intensified. Elohim inspired Moses to write Job and Genesis. Elohim called him from the burning bush. Moses saw how Elohim defeated the Egyptian gods. He witnessed the parting of the Red Sea to free Israel. He watched as Elohim led Israel to Sinai. They spent 40 full days together on the mountain. Their relationship continued to grow every day more. Moses became a faithful servant of Elohim, an extinguishable beacon in the darkness, and an exemplary prophet. Getting to know Elohim better. If you are pleased with me, teach me your ways, so I may know you and continue to find favor with you. Remember that this nation is your people. When Elohim told Moses that he would not accompany the people to Canaan, an interesting conversation ensued. Elohim, you are my friend and you have my favor. Moses, if it is really so, teach me your way, that I may know you. Elohim, my presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. Moses, if your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here. Moses, if you don't come with us, how will anyone know that you are pleased with me? Elohim, okay, I'll do what you ask, because you have my favor and I consider you my friend. Moses had spent 40 days with Elohim, receiving the 10 commandments and instructions for building the sanctuary. Now he was once again before Elohim, interceding for the people. He seemed to know Elohim quite well, for he spoke to him very familiarly. In what sense then did he need to know him? In what sense do you also need to know him? The glory of Elohim. The desire to know the glory of Elohim. Then Moses said, now show me your glory. Moses asked, show me your glory. Elohim answered, I will show you my goodness. What Elohim showed him was his character. The glory of Elohim is his goodness, that is his character. Ellen G. White adds that Elohim's glory consists in empowering his children, embracing repentant sinners, and providing everything necessary for their transformation. Thus, our glory is to reflect the character of Elohim in our lives. When we look at the cross, we have the greatest revelation of Elohim's glory, his goodness, and his character. The vision of the glory of Elohim. And he passed in front of Moses, proclaiming, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious Elohim, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness. Elohim showed his glory to Moses on the seventh occasion he ascended Mount Sinai. At what times and for what purpose did Moses present himself before Elohim? 1. To receive the basis of the covenant. 1. To receive the basis of the covenant. 2. To give the people's response and receive instructions on the Tufani at Sinai. 3. To receive new instructions. 4. To receive the complementary laws. To receive the Ten Commandments written by the finger of Elohim in the pattern of the sanctuary. 6. To intercede for the sin of the golden calf, so that Elohim could show him his glory and receive new tablets with the Ten Commandments. The vision of Elohim's glory proved to be a self-proclamation of Elohim's character. At this glimpse of Elohim's love, Moses' worship, eventually, Elohim reaffirmed his covenant with Israel and forgave the calf incident. The result of seeing the glory of Elohim. When Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the covenant law in his hands, he was not aware that his face was radiant because he had spoken with the Lord. Moses had spoken with Elohim face to face many times before, and until then his face had never shone. What had changed this time? Notice, moreover, that the change persisted over the long term. Now Moses knew Elohim much better. His friendship had reached maturity. He had contemplated Elohim's glory and had been transformed by that glory. Echoing this episode, Paul invites us to imitate Moses, contemplate the glory of Elohim, to be transformed as he was. Moses is a model that demonstrates what Elohim can do for us when we allow him to transform our character and mold us into his divine image. Think you that Elohim reproved Moses for his presumption? No, indeed, Moses did not make this request from idle curiosity. He had an object in view. He saw that in his own strength he could not do the work of Elohim acceptably. He knew that if he could obtain a clear view of the glory of Elohim, he would be enabled to go forward in his important mission, not in his own strength, but in the strength of the Lord Elohim Almighty. His whole soul was drawn out after Elohim. He longed to know more of him, that he might feel the divine presence near in every emergency or perplexity. It was not selfishness that led Moses to ask for a sight of the glory of Elohim. His only object was a desire better to honor his Maker.